looks pretty legit.
Could people hear the audio that we were just saying? Dude, this is great. Everybody look at this. Gordo's sitting in front of a painting, right, by Jesse Frazier, fame worldwide. He's sitting in front of a painting, right, like a real-life painting? No, he is not sitting in front of a real-life painting.
This painting is in the next room. That's how fucking dumb this whole thing is. But it looks great.
No, it does. It looks really good. Dude, you're like, you've mastered the green screen.
I've fucked around with it enough, that's for sure.
So that
endlessly with this shit.
Dude, that's okay. I want to talk about that because I want to like pick your brain about this. First, let's intro the show.
Yes.
Welcome to episode number 103 of the motherfucking podcast. This is the official podcast of the International Power Rock Combo motherfucking Ruckus from Denver and Chicago, respectively. I'm Aaron Howell.
I'm Gordo.
And
Gordo.
And our guest, unfortunately, was feeling ill. I think just regular ill, not like newsworthy ill.
Feeling ill is not something to be taken lightly these days.
No, it certainly is not. I've been seeing a lot of people posted stuff where they're like, I'm sick, and I'm going to just stay in bed and pray to God for the afternoon and see what happens, and I'll keep you all posted. But our guest today, Dan Aid from Authority Zero, he called in sick today, unfortunately. We hope he feels better. He is going to be here next week. We actually were even bumping him forward a week, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal.
No big deal, man.
But we did take last week off, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to touch base with the G-Man, with Gordo himself, and see how things are going, see how the world has advanced, see how quarantine has advanced, see what we've been up to, and talk about some things that have gone on in the last couple weeks. Gordo, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, considering. I had a earlier I went on social media and talked about my craving for a hot dog. I don't ever have cravings for hot dogs. I'm starting to get a little concerned, honestly, because I have weird cravings that I've never had before. I went out and got a hot dog. I probably am, because I went out and got a hot dog, and now I feel gross. So like I don't know.
Where'd you get a hot dog from?
There's a Sonic up the street.
Dude.
And Sonic. So like I mean it was good. It was really fucking good, and it totally like I ate my feelings in such a wonderful way. And then I just, it took about maybe 20 minutes, and I was like, man, that was fucking dumb. I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Bad decision. Otherwise, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I've been doing a fair amount of Sonic as well. A fair amount of takeout food. Most of the trash that comes out of our house is compostable to-go boxes from Fire on the Mountain, because not only are we doing, not only do I get like my shift meal and everything like that, but I've also been, my bosses have been kind enough to do a family meal, a daily family meal.
Oh, so that's cool.
So that the people who are laid off, and me and all the people that are working and our families and stuff can get something to eat if they need to. Dude, they're doing so much just to like offset what everyone is going through.
That's super cool. I mean, and it doesn't hurt that they have really good food.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt at all. Well, but I mean, the family meals have been stuff that's not even on the menu. It's just like stuff that like members of the staff are cooking. Like one of the guys is a Southern dude, and so he made like a smoked pork loin the other day. Like, dude, it's been really like fantastic food. Like, I think at home next in the queue I've got some like gyros, and then God, what else did we do? They like one day they just brought in a bunch of stuff from like a local Italian deli, so they're like supporting other businesses too. And then like on top of all the stuff that this company has been doing for us over the doing for all their staff throughout this, they just sent us an email last night that they are refunding what we've put into that they're refunding our insurance premiums, because we pay half of our insurance and they pay the other half. So to help people out, they're sending us back the insurance premiums that we have paid over the past 6 weeks. So it's only like a couple. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's only a couple $100, but I mean, a couple $100 is a couple $100.
Yeah, that's significant. I mean, everything they've been doing is significant. That's amazing. You work for an amazing company, man.
I really do. And to think I was on my way out of the service industry when I started working there. Like I really was like, look, I think I'm on the back nine of my my service career. I really want to get out of here, but I'm willing to try this out. And I hear good things about your company, and then, dude, it's like I don't even want to leave. It's fucking great. Hey, real quick, I want to do a little quick housekeeping announcement. Like many of our contemporaries, Gordo included, we are not going to be playing gigs for a very long time. In fact, the only gig that we might have on the books, we might have something in August, which will probably get canceled. And then other than that, we don't have anything on the books until January. So we are not going to be doing anything. So with that in mind, we are looking to liquidate everything in the merch store so that we can put that money into music videos and working on the new record. And, we've got all this stuff just sitting in boxes in our warehouse. At our warehouse, the trunk of my car.
Yeah, the warehouse is my basement for Gordophonic Records as well.
Well,
we're doing a similar thing over here.
Are you? I mean, I do it at Nug Nation a lot, but I had to take it over and inventory and everything for this announcement that I'm making. So we've inventoried everything that we have in merch, and we're going to just give everything away for 15% off. If you go to mfruckus.com/merch, that'll take you to our Big Cartel store. The direct link for the Big Cartel store is mfruckus.bigcartel.com. We're also going to start dropping an ad for that tonight. Basically, everything in our store is going to be 15% off, and all of that money is going to go to help pay for music videos and studio time and everything like that. Plus, we just like people to have the stuff. It's just sitting there in the trunk of the car, collecting dust, as much dust as something can collect in the trunk of a car. And we just feel like maybe we could be doing better things with that. So, we're not in dire straits. We're not needing it to, eat and pay our bills or anything like that, but we are needing it to keep putting stuff out and keep us busy. And Ty and Logan and Tony and me, we really appreciate it. So please go to mfruckus.com/merch and enter the promo code COVID at checkout, COVID, in case you forgot how to spell it, and get your hands on some amazing high-quality MF Ruckus merch. Now, you said you're kind of doing a similar thing, Gordo. What are you doing?
Well, what I'm doing is I started this actually a little while ago, and I've gotten a little bit of traction on it, but I haven't done a whole lot of advertising about it. I sent it out in an email. And what it is it's a 30% off any order of $30 or more. So that just goes for anything in our merch store at gordophonicrecords.com. The code for that is ISO crazy.
ISO.
So if you're you can't even see
dude,
that.
It's vanishing.
Yeah, that's what happens. See what happens to my face? Look what happened to my face when that happened.
Dude, you just exposed all of David Copperfield's secrets with that fucking move right there.
I pretty much did. That's the Grand Canyon stunt right there. But anyway, if you go to
the one
Gordophonic
secret
Records,
you didn't expose is how he got Heather Locklear,
No, that who knows?
A magician.
I mean, she's a very small person though. You could fit her in any number of trunks.
No, keep going.
I didn't say that. No, if you go to Gordophonic Records, if you dig anything that we do, then any order of $30 or more gets you 30% off. The code is ISO crazy. That's ISO crazy. That's
Cool.
yeah.
Cool,
So
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing a similar thing, just trying to move stuff, just trying to get stuff moving, because that's all we got right now. Like you said, that's where we're at. We don't have a band to speak of right now. Granny Tweed is we're in talks, we're in negotiations for a potential rehearsal somewhat soon, and
We're in negotiations for
yeah,
a rehearsal.
we are. And so we'll see how that goes, and then at that point we're gonna discuss other stuff as far as like what are our streaming options. Can we stream a show? Can we like what else can we do in this in the interim while venues are you know having a hard time. So
I have been seeing
uh,
some really cool streams, man. Like
yeah, me
it's.
too.
Did you see the Dale Watson one?
Oh no, I missed that one.
Dude,
There's been a lot of them, dude.
really
There's been a
professional
lot of them.
ones.
Yeah, like the ones I'm really jealous of, the ones that are done at clubs. It's like, and it's just all professional sound and lights and like the whole production is so spot on. Those
Well, even
things.
even the lower production value ones, like Mark Linsky from Hudson Falcons did one yesterday, and I fucking love Mark Linsky.
Yeah,
So that one was really cool. You were asking me actually about the ones I've been doing for Fire on the Mountain.
yeah,
So what I've been doing is we were kind of looking for some unique things that we could do to keep people engaged and to keep people aware that we're still in business and we're doing takeout and delivery and whatnot. And during a meeting, I was like, look, I have the most simple live stream capability. I know it's not going to be the highest quality thing out there, but I've seen a lot of the streams that people lost and that people watch, and it's not the lowest quality one either. There have been successful streams that run the entire gamut across the entire spectrum as far as production quality goes, and people still love them. The people that are into that. Some people think they're annoying and don't like them. I have seen a lot of people throwing shade on the, but that's the internet. But I just
yeah,
said, hey, we've got a lot of musicians who work here. We've got a lot of artists who work here. Why don't you just let me live stream some people? You give me admin permissions on the Fire on the Mountain Facebook page, and it'll be a way to keep people engaged during the stay-at-home order and while people are social distancing. And we've had a fair bit of success with that, with a fairly small amount of promotion. And I think that the one episode that we did that we really promoted was the one that I did here with the two guys, Jacob Moss and Matt Flaherty. And they did a bunch of songs and did a really great performance. And they actually created a Facebook event and brought people in for it. And yeah, man, I mean, not literally brought people in, like to the studio, but,
they brought people in virtually.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, just kind of playing around. And I mean, like you, I have had no trouble finding things to keep me busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but I've also been doing just a solo acoustic series that I'm having a lot of fun doing.
Yeah, those are good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's been varying degrees of success and quality, but really I'm just, I'm playing around, and I'm finding it all to be very satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to work. It kind of flexes a different muscle.
It does.
For those of us that are used to doing this on stages, and with sound people, it really gives you, like I was talking to some people yesterday, I did a live stream yesterday, and I was talking to some of the other folks that were in that group and performing, and we were talking about how it gives you a renewed appreciation for all those live production folks, because they're always doing such a good job, but you don't really know until you have to do that stuff yourself what all it entails. And like I'm working on green screens and getting lighting figured out and getting the audio dialed in for all these different things that I'm trying to do. And it's a learning process. There's a learning curve, and
Right.
it's been really cool. But it also, like, shout out to all the soundmen, all the lighting folks, all of the crews out there that work in live production,
Yeah,
like,
we miss you guys.
and
Big
stage
time.
management. Yeah, like all that. It's like you really get a renewed appreciation for that stuff, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
It's also been, I have found it, I said I found it very satisfying. I've been kind of enjoying the limitations that I have to work with. It's like, were it not for this situation, I would have never probably been motivated. Like, I probably would have been getting ready to perform guitar and sing solo and not actually producing anything. And the situation I'm in now, it's like, look, I have very little time, because I'm still working and whatnot. I have basically I've been doing all those videos when Ransom goes down for his first nap of the day around 11 o'clock. So not only do I have the time restriction, but I have a noise restriction because I have neighbors and a sleeping baby upstairs. So I've been doing a lot of stuff that is deliberately softer, deliberately quieter, experimenting with microphone sounds, experimenting with how I can make things sound the best. And I'm starting to really enjoy singing from my lower register and my soft register. And I'm able to perform music that I really, really love that maybe I'm not able to do with any of my live music projects. And
Right.
then as a result, I've been getting interest from people who may not have been interested before.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I had a friend of mine, my friend Kevin, has a little spot, a little hidden out spot up in the mountains, and he's like, hey, we'd love to have you guys up here to, if you guys need to get out of town and still observe the social distancing stuff, like, I'd love to have you guys up here, and I'll set up some nice mics and some nice cameras, and we'll record some of your acoustic stuff because I've really been enjoying it. And that's something, like, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to record and produce as prolific a manner as I have been. I've been putting something out close to every day, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I could get my yayas out through, getting ready for a gig.
Sure.
Or something like that,
Yeah, it gives you it's really good at giving you a goal to work on, like, because that's what I've been approaching each streaming thing I've done is like, okay, what can I do differently? I can do, like, the first one I did was an electric set. The next one I did was an acoustic set, and then, like, trying to incorporate different covers that I've always wanted to do but have never had the time to do before.
Right.
Just really, getting as far out as I want with it.
This is like the age of woodshedding that we're going through right now. You know what I mean?
Literally is, yeah, man.
Like,
It really is.
everybody that we know is just shedding wood like crazy.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of riffs, like, saved up for the band, that I'm just like, wow, like, like, I don't know when we're going to have an opportunity to work on these things, but, it's just, it's, I don't know. It's a very productive time. It's way more productive than I could have even imagined for that kind of stuff.
Like, with the ruckus stuff, like, pretty much I'm in a position where, like all of us, where I'm just at the mercy of the situation we're in. I'm at the mercy of time and medical science. I'm at the mercy of this thing, and I'm not going anywhere, and the band can't do anything. So pretty much what we're doing, like I said, we're trying to sell off all the merch. We're trying to liquidate our assets, put it all into building content. I've talked to I have talked to someone in video production about doing a song for doing a video for every song off the forthcoming record. You know, I have an idea for every single one of them. And so I've just put all these seeds out there, and we're going to work on that. So there's that. And then there's like trying to stay engaged with Brad and work on the batch of songs that we have up in Evergroove, and trying to figure out a way to work with the guys. And we were going to give Jam Kazam a shot. And this blew my mind. Jam Kazam and some of the similar platforms, despite the interest that they've gotten, have sort of stalled out because of lack of capital.
Oh, wow.
Like, I looked at Jam Kazam, and they had a Kickstarter for a piece of hardware they use. It's called a Jam Blaster. It works with their platform, and it's supposed to be this like latency reducing interface that you can like jam with people and whatnot. They had a Kickstarter project for it in like 2015 that got like half funded. Like, they didn't successfully fund it. It's like this revolutionary technology, and they couldn't get the capital. So they put out this email that they're like, the platform is still going. We're doing everything we can to fix the things that don't work, and, you know, do some new things and improve the platform all the time. But really, we have, you know, we can't have people in the office, and we have limited capital. So what we've got right now is kind of what we've got. That being said, because the Jam Blaster piece of technology, which is supposed to plug into your phone or your iPad, Tony doesn't have a laptop. So we can't even use the bare bones Jam Kazam platform, because the hardware that would work with like a mobile device is just unavailable because they can't get the capital to build more. So we're like in this process of trying to figure out, okay, how can we stay engaged during this time? And so we've been kicking around the idea of doing a weekly challenge. Like, I'm not going to say what band we're doing, but we're talking about doing the Denver Does Denver challenge. You know, just like going in there and doing a really obscure Denver band. We've been talking about doing some different covers that we never would have done. I heard this song today that I kind of want to play for you later in the show. Or I heard it last night when I was working. And it's like a happy poppy song, but I haven't been able to listen to it without crying. Like, it's,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk. I mean, we'll talk about it later in the episode. You know, just because it, like, and I like share that with the guys, and I'm like, this would be really fun to do. You know, or let's work on some new stuff. So we're like trying to toss around ways to figure out how to make this work, and trying to figure out ways to make the podcast work, and all these things. And I've been paying attention to what you've been doing, and it's like before the break. You know, before the pandemic, you know, you were
pandemic break.
Yeah, but you were working on learning OBS and learning the tech side of things from Ethan, but like being forced to stay in your home has like, you've gone into the monastery, man.
Oh yeah, I've really meditated.
Dude, I mean, seriously, like, and you're like,
really
and you've been doing a ton of work, and I watched the Gordophonic Records stream that you did, and it was so good. It sounded good.
Right on.
The video was good. Your work with the green screen was good, and I saw it, and I got excited because I was like, okay, cool. Now Gordo's going to come back to the podcast, and he's going to have these tools that we can use. You know, he's going, you know, and like Ethan is bored out of his fucking mind. Shout out to Ethan Klein in the booth. Love you, buddy.
Ethan Klein.
Dude, Ethan is bored out of his mind, so he's like excited to come help out on the podcast. You know what I mean? And practice social distancing, of course. And like, you know, so I'm like, I know everybody's been like the silver lining conversation has been run into the ground, but dude, it's like I can't stop running into all these things that I'm just like, I'm grateful for. You know, I'm really sad that so many people are getting sick and dying. I am really sad about that. You know, my heart breaks for the world. But if that's going to be the situation, I'm really proud of how artists, at least, are making the best of it.
Right.
And I
Yeah,
kind of
man.
wish all those people in protest states would get a fucking hobby.
Yeah. Well, there's a good degree of coordination going on there that's really interesting. There's some people behind that, and that's an interesting story. Maybe not for this forum, but
Go ahead, man.
well, I've been doing some reading, a little bit of reading on my own, and hey, maybe one would chastise me for getting my information from these sources that I do, but reading about what instigated these protests was really interesting to me because
Okay, tell me about that.
these are former these this is a combination of folks that we've seen before. These are former like Tea Party dudes.
Right.
These are people that are fairly high up in these, I guess, in the lobbyist realm of the right. Very deep pockets, and they're very good at organizing these things, and they're very good at actually
Riling up
spreading,
their base.
getting like what we're doing, getting on here and telling people like, you need to stand up and get out there, and you need to demand your rights. Whatever, for whatever that's worth. I think it's a bunch of horse shit. But hey,
Yeah, I mean,
America.
look. I, of course, am concerned anytime someone surrenders freedom for safety, and a lot of these people are just beating the dead horse of that Ben Franklin quote, he who seeks safety or trades safety for freedom or freedom for safety deserves neither, whatever it is. Like, I am concerned, and I'm kind of watching with a vigilant eye the surrendering of certain rights. But it's like, dude, it hasn't been that fucking long. It's been a little over a month. We're doing this so that we can keep our population safe. It's not just us. It's all over the world, and it's working in places. Like Germany is fucking kicking this thing's ass.
Well, of course. Like, that's not surprising to me at all.
Well, did we talk at all about
they have the discipline for this kind of thing?
Well, did we talk about the culturally tight versus loose societies? Did we talk about that at all?
Well, yeah, we've talked about it before. I think we've talked about it a couple times before, but yeah, like there's a completely different engine of thought going on there.
Right. Right.
It's completely different. They're not coming at this from the perspective of, somebody's going to come and take away our rights, or someone's going to come and take away our guns, or whatever it usually is. It's completely different.
Yeah.
They're very pragmatic, whereas we are not so much.
Right.
And especially now.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is, like, I understand the motivation that is being manipulated by these unscrupulous lobbyists that you're talking about. Like, the people who are pulling the strings, I can understand the people on the ground, like the emotional state they're in, that they're afraid, they're angry, people want answers. They're concerned that a tyrannical government is going to come in and take shit away from them. I understand that, but
absolutely
right. But I don't think we're there yet.
No, we're not there yet. And furthermore, this is my main gripe in this whole thing. So we have people out there protesting these stay-at-home orders, but we have nobody out there protesting about these huge corporations dipping into this small business relief fund.
Which is terrible.
It's killing small businesses, man. It's absolutely destroying small business, and
the money's already gone, right?
Yeah, the money's gone. They have to pony up more money for what they missed before.
There's like a second $250 billion package going out, but it's like it's being split up among Like, it's basically like for healthcare professionals and then, or for the healthcare industry, and then it's being kind of parsed out
Well,
to what's left of everyone else that's left in the business world that didn't get a piece of the first round.
yeah, and you have to look at who the gatekeepers are. They're the banks. You got your Wells Fargo, you got your Chase, you've got all these people that are basically calling these shots, and yeah, it's just sickening, and it's just like I don't want to do business with those places anymore if I can help it.
Speaking
Like
of which,
you know,
speaking of unscrupulous businesses, this just popped into my head. Did you see that Sancho's Broken Arrow got busted?
dude, see, no, it's on my fucking list that you can't see that I keep on show. I saw that, dude, and I was just like, oh fuck, man, they've been operating a speakeasy through the pandemic,
and not even like recently, like. From what I heard, and this is what I heard. So I'll say right now,
I know next to nothing about this topic at all.
Actual details, I know next to nothing.
Yeah.
But I saw some comment or something where someone was saying that like they had, it was someone from True was talking, had heard from a regulatory authority of some sort, that they were given the option to operate in some sort of amended way, like a lot of businesses are. Like they could do carry out liquor, and they could do different things, right? And they turned it down right from the get-go. And so what that implies,
Sancho's did.
Yeah. And so what that implies is they're just like, nope, we're just going to run a speakeasy through this whole fucking thing. and they got busted, man.
Oh, dude.
And look, I'm not on the bandwagon of people who think that they should be boycotted, and I'm not on the bandwagon of people who are going, good fucking hippies, that's what you deserve. I think the whole thing is very, very funny, and I think they're just the ones that got caught. And it's probably going along around. It's probably going on in a lot of places.
It would not shock me to know that that's going on in a certain capacity. In the underground community.
I love the idea of crooked hippies. That makes me laugh.
These crooked hippies.
Like, dude, just the idea of the crooked hippie archetype.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. That's like, peace and love on one hand.
It's a yuppie, right? That's basically what we're talking about here. Is we're talking about yuppies.
Right. Peace and
People
love
don't
on
say
one
that
hand.
word anymore, but that's what it was.
Right. Peace and love on one hand, and then like just shadiness on the other. It's just like, I love it, man. It's like the parking lot at Red Rocks come to life.
Yeah. It's robbing Moon Unit to pay Amit. Absolutely.
It was just at the very least, at the very bare minimum, we live in incredibly interesting times, and every day it's just something new coming out in the news, and since the last time we got together, the president made that disinfectant quip.
Yeah, and supposedly he's coming back today to do a press conference. Like earlier today, they were reporting that he wasn't going to do one today, but now he's decided he's going to come out and do it again. Like he was never going to stay away that long. But it was kind of funny to see him turn tail on Friday and just be like, "No, we're not talking." After that incredibly, I don't know what you would even call that. Insane, ignorant. Like all of the above. Dangerous. Just complete, like confused. Like he seemed like he didn't know what he was talking about, and he was just spitballing out there.
Dude, if he was a character in a movie, this whole thing would be great.
Oh, yeah.
But the only thing that makes it terrifying is that there's actual human lives at stake with what he says. But he is a fucking cartoon character, man.
He is, man.
Like every day, and it's really hard to stay terrified for all that long when you just like realize what a fucking cartoon character he is.
Did you see the swab thing too? The thing he did with
What
the
was
swab?
the swab thing?
He was talking about the tests and the test kits, and he's just like, he pulled out a swab. He's like, like, use these swabs. You just use these swabs. Then he's like, anybody want to see this thing? And people are like, sure, let's see the swab. And he like took it out, and it's like a medical swab. It's like this big or whatever. He's like, and what's incredible about this is I just happen to have, and he just like pulled out a couple Q-tips. Like, did you not see this? He pulled out Q-tips out of his pocket. He's like, it's like a Q-tip. This swab is like it's like a bigger version of the Q-tip. Whatever. It's like, yeah, those are swabs, dude. They're all swabs. Amazing. You can't make this shit up.
He was standing back there, and he's like, someone showed him the swab, and he's like, really? That's what they look like, huh? They kind of look like Q-tips. Hey, it'd be really interesting? I'm gonna go grab some Q-tips. I've got some in my travel bag. I'm gonna bring them out. I'm going to show them side by side. I think people will really find that entertaining. What?
It just blows my mind. It's amazing. By the way, your head is kind of more resembling a Q-tip more than the last time I saw you.
Yeah, man.
Talk about that a little bit. Talk about your head, man.
Listen, I'm liking it.
I love it. I think it looks great.
I find it suits me.
We're almost twins. I'm actually envious of your beard length right now. Is what's going on.
Did you see? Did you see? There was 2 people who made comments about your band when I did it. Like,
yeah.
Like Tony was like, "Are you in Granny Tweed now?" And then Josh was like, "Welcome to our band."
Yeah, of course you are. That's the next logical step.
I know it, dude.
We need a decent singer.
So I did. I love you as a singer, by the way. So I did. What happened was I had been slated to do the St. Baldrick's, the St. Baldrick's fundraiser, and I raised like close to $850 for children's cancer research, and the whole thing is you shave your head afterwards, and it's a big fun thing, and a bunch of us on staff, and that's another thing I love about the company I work for. Is they really inspire people to just do better people, do some good, as the late great Chris Haney would have said, and I was of course on board, and it's no big deal for me to shave my head, but my boss Andrea, she shaved her head, and what happened was, we were told we weren't going to be able to do a St. Baldrick's event for the foreseeable future. And so we had originally said, okay, we'll just postpone it. And then, time's been dragging on, and we raised all this money, and we wanted to spread around a little love and happiness to some people. So my boss just said, fuck it, shaved her head. And then one at a time, everybody else kind of fell off and was like, oh, if Andrea's going to do it, then I got to do it. And so I was probably one of the second or third who fell off under pressure, which is how cults start. And so I shaved my head, and after doing it, one of the guys I work with made some joke. He was like, yeah, that's not growing back. You're bald now. And I'm like looking at my hairline in the mirror, and I can actually see my bald spots now. Like I can see where my hair is thinner, and it's just giving me this new insight into my impending baldness. And I told Sarah, I was like, I'm thinking of going all the way down with the Bic, and she's like, God, you're such an extremist. You can't just do things a little ways. You gotta just make a big extreme thing out of it. I'm like, no, here's my thinking. I'm like, here's my thinking. To her, I'm an extremist. But what I'm thinking is, I'm like, I'll do that for a few years, and then I'll grow my hair out just to see how gray and bald I've gotten. I was thinking about this today. I want to shave it all the way down for 5 years, and then one day just grow it all out. No, not grow it all out in one day, but then one day just stop shaving it and see how gray and bald I go in 5 years. I think that would be fun. It sounds depressing, but I think it'd be fun.
some of our compatriots, I should say our compatriots now that you're in the family, that I that I've talked to in
Do I
quarantine.
get the newsletter now or what?
Well, yeah, you're scheduled. You're scheduled to arrive very soon on that list. You have to keep it up for so long. You understand? It's it's a matter of weeks. So you got to keep with it for a few weeks, and then that shows pure intention. Joking. So
I'm into it.
What's hilarious is I've been chatting with a couple of people, and they're like, "Wow, man, I've been letting my hair grow out." A couple of the baldies that I know, like, been letting my hair grow out over the quarantine. I'm like, "Send me a picture. Send me a picture." Nobody will send you a picture. Nobody will send you a picture. What it's like? They're like, "No, I couldn't do it. I had to shave it off again. It's terrible. It's awful. It's like looking at a bad accident or whatever." And yeah, I have to agree. Like, I let mine grow out probably about 10 millimeters, and it's way too long, man. Way too long. I had to shave it today. I couldn't quite get there. Destro!
Destro's like the leader of our club, man.
Yeah, man.
He is. Yeah, I'm gonna put him up here on the.
He's the mascot now.
Yeah, dude, Destro is the patron.
You could actually
saint.
attach him on the backside of your mic there, and he could just face the camera the whole time.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Destro is the patron saint of the Baldies.
He is.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm into it. I don't care. This is the thing, is like, I'd rather have it shaved. I think I cared more about seeing really well lit video of my bald ass head with long hair. I like this way better.
Yeah,
It's way better. But even with that, I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm not one of those people who is like in denial of the fact that I'm turning into an old piece of shit. Like, I like entering new stages in my life.
Sure.
You know, I like it when that happens. It's like, oh, now I'm in midlife. I'm a middle-aged man now. Like,
embrace change.
Yeah. My back hurts all the time. Like, I had to get up with the boy at like 2:00 in the morning this morning because he likes to randomly party in the middle of the night sometimes. And
kids are heavy, dude.
Yeah. Wait, hold on one second. Hey, Ethan. Oh, nope, there he is. I lost your feed there for a second. But yeah, like when I started to go gray and I started to lose my hair a little bit, like, yeah, I didn't like getting made fun of for having a bald spot or having my hair thinning or it not being able to do everything that I wanted to do, you know. But, you know, I embrace it. It's like it's a badge of honor, man, you know. Tigers, it's a tiger getting their stripes. You know what I mean?
Passing on to the next plane, man.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. Yeah, sorry. He cut out for a second. I got him back, but he cut out for a second.
Here I am. Hello.
No, yeah, we're good. Bear with us here, folks. Hold on one sec. Ethan's doing a thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. I just he cut out for a second. I don't know what it was. It might have just been like a break in the Skype feed or something like that.
I'm noticing, at least on this network, it's a little flimsy today.
You know what I found out is they throttled down our internet.
Oh, here.
Yeah, because nobody's here using it but us.
Good God.
Yeah.
Throttling the internet.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Real nice. Whoever that is. Who is it? CenturyLink?
No. Like, we throttled down the internet. Like
oh, you throttled down the internet.
Like
I see.
The Burn TV execs throttled it down because we didn't need, we don't have 6 people working here. So
yeah, you don't need the bandwidth.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So
that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so so tell me what else you've got planned during the quarantine. Like, what do you got coming down the pike now?
Well, I'm working on a lot of video stuff. I have a Granny Tweed video that I'm in the middle of working on right now. That's actually I've been working on it for a while, but people keep on submitting videos, so I keep on trying to find a place for it.
People
So
keep
it's like,
submitting videos. What do you mean?
yeah. Well, I asked people to submit videos of them dancing to our song Wharf Dwarf, like a month ago. And she said, "Yeah, we'll just keep it open for a couple weeks." And then I got a lot of responses, but then I didn't quite have enough for a full video. So I said, "Oh, okay, well, we're still going to keep this open." And I chided some folks that didn't do it, that said they were going to do it or whatever. I got some more footage, and then I was like, "Okay, well, I think I got plenty." And then even more stuff started coming in. So it was like, "Holy shit! Now I have a whole bunch of submissions, and it's
Dude,
all
I'll
good
send you some
stuff."
stuff.
Yeah, please do.
I
Like
already
it's
I already
getting
sent
better all the time. I'll have a cut and then it's just like, well, I can't leave this out. I got to bring this in. So it's like
right.
it's working out really well because the longer I wait to put the video out, the better it gets. So
I sent one.
great.
The Blind Staggers are doing something similar,
Yeah,
and
me
and
too. We
so
we trade Damien and I traded.
did you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I sent a video of me and Ransom dancing to Party Friends,
Yeah.
to Damien. So, dude, I'll do one for your video too. That's great,
Yeah.
dude. And that's another thing too. Is like, of course, I want a slick, you know, like well produced piece of content. But I'm
Sure.
also like seeing all the stuff that's out there, and I'm like there's no rule that says it has to be amazing. I don't have to shoot for the stars on every single thing. And
Have fun with it.
watching you produce so much has made me like, man, look at everything Gordo's turning out. Like, dude, I'm really inspired by a lot of the stuff that you've been doing. Really,
Oh,
really and
thanks,
truly.
man. I appreciate that. Cause like honestly, it was just me getting over myself and having those same ideas about what I want to do. It's like, it's just not pro enough. It doesn't look good enough. It's not slick enough. Like all that stuff. Cause you kind of get into that mindset of thinking that like it's got to make an impression and it's got to do this and it's got to do that. And honestly, if you just try and be creative and do what you want to do within your own means, it works out most of the time.
Those are like
So,
old industry
you know,
models that are still in our heads. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, they
Like
absolutely are.
like that idea of like, man, if you don't wow them in the first couple, if you don't have a single on your record, you might as well throw it in the trash. Like,
Yeah,
if you don't, if you don't get someone with a big name to mix on your record, your fucking career is garbage and blah blah blah
yeah,
blah blah. And that's I don't know. A lot of what I've been gathering has been that is a very outdated model that really doesn't apply anymore. You know,
yeah,
there are people producing stuff on their fucking laptop and their cell phone that wins Grammys.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
or ends up on Billboard or something like that. Or that doesn't have to happen because
Yeah, it could just go viral in your own little bubble and it'd be, and it's good,
or it can
like
just be
I don't know.
satisfying to make. It can be
Yeah.
something that people really dig on. I don't know. It's
It
like
is
it
it is fun to have fun with it. You know what I mean? It's it's
right.
it's good to, it's a good experience to have the creative uh I don't know, just the creative process and put it out into the world. Like that's
Right.
always fun. It's
Right.
always fun.
Right. No, for sure, man. So yeah, I mean, I think since I've been doing, I think I'm gonna keep the acoustic series going. I mean, dude,
Good.
I have a playlist of what do you call it? I have a playlist on Guitar Tabs or whatever it is, Ultimate Guitar Tab, that site. I have something like 200 songs that I am in some stage of learning. There's nothing that would prevent me from doing a song a day. And fuck, Ethan, it happened again. I lost Gordo. I don't know.
We lose it. Can you
Well, no,
hear
I
me?
mean, no, I can hear you. I've got your signal. I just can't switch back and forth to you.
Oh,
You see this?
Oh.
oh, that's interesting. How is that possible?
Yeah, that's there he is. Okay. No, but so like yeah, there he is. So so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this.
If that happens again, just go either up to cameras or down to sponsor card. It might come back.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. I
Ethan's got our back.
I know, he's the shit. So what I've been thinking is I'll just use this time as kind of like guitar school, songwriter school. In fact,
Yeah.
I posted on the Colorado musicians thread that I'm looking for a guitar sensei, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm just going to reach out to various friends of mine, yourself included, and do some series of online lessons with different great guitar players that I know. And
Why not?
dude, and keep learning songs, and then kind
You
of
got the
hone.
best guitar player I've ever in your band. You know that.
I know, but that's the thing. Tony is a god awful teacher. So
Oh,
I would
is
have
he?
to. He's a terrible teacher because he's a fucking prodigy.
Yeah, yeah.
So for him, it's like he's like, I don't know, just do this. No big deal. Everyone
Follow
who's,
my leader.
dude, everyone who's ever tried to take lessons from Tony has said that it's hard to take lessons from him because he's so good and doesn't know how to teach a beginner.
I had him down here in the studio doing a guitar track on the next Gordon Leadfoot album, and I told him, I said, I need some of your wizardry to rub off. Like, tell me some stuff that's gonna make me a better guitar player because you're amazing. He's just like, oh, it's like the same 5 or 6 tricks over and over. I'm like, no, you're not gonna tell me that shit. That does not work.
Yeah. He's like, I
that-
really
but
only
that's
know
what he
like 5
says.
things.
That's what he says every time. And then I kind of think back on it myself, and I'm like, oh yeah. When people ask me about guitar stuff, I say it's all smoke and mirrors. So that's like that's my smoke and mirrors is his, like, I only know 5 or 6 things. And it's like,
Right.
we're very quick to deride our own abilities or to box them down into whatever. It's like,
Or have trouble breaking them down into their components.
that's the key thing, is like, how do you break, because those things are hard to do. Like, sure, anyone can, like, okay, this is how you play an E chord, this is how you play a pentatonic scale, this is how you play in like 5th position, this chord or that. It's like, okay, sure, but you can find any YouTube video that'll do that for you, but it's those really like those elements of finding your own style and kind of linking things and making those connections in your brain that end up on the fretboard.
Right.
Those are the things that are hard. I agree. I have to say, I agree. Those are difficult things.
Well, and so what I've been thinking is, like, I was originally looking for just like one teacher to work with, but I think what I'm going to do instead is just hit up friends of mine, Tony included, you included, Ryan Fiegel from Reptiles, Dials, and Samurai included, whoever I can get to sit down and have some time with me and just have some people teach me some things and learn a shitload of songs. And then, like, I feel because of what we've been doing, going through this, and because of producing content on a daily basis, I feel more confident that I can get to work on a solo record, or I can start writing more songs, or I can, there's somewhere to go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There is a path where before there was not.
Yeah. Well, but that's a beautiful thing about that's what's kept me in the game for so long myself, is that it's just, there's always a journey. It's always a journey that you're on. It's not like the destination. It's just the journey for me. It's like, it's just fun to create. It's fun to learn new stuff. It's fun to be challenged, and to figure out how to do things that you didn't know how to do before, or work with people that you didn't work with before. And that's that process and being part of the musical community has just enriched my life so much that it's hard to quit, man. It's hard to quit.
It is so hard to quit. And I mean, and keep in mind, like, the Alaska thoughts have not gone away.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean? I woke up with them. I woke up with them pretty bad today.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up.
What specifically? What, if I may ask, what specifically were you thinking of?
Oh God, what was I specifically thinking of? It was just like. It was the really extreme one that comes up a lot of just quit everything. Just quit it. Quit doing the podcast. Shut down all the social media platforms. Quit doing the band stuff. You know, just and not even make an announcement about it. Like no sweeping exit. Just. You know, just let the people who are in the know, and just be like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. Just I'm not interested in doing it anymore. I'm tired of it. I want to do something else. Like
yeah.
I had that pretty bad when I got up this morning. But then, you know, I sat down and I started doing work, and I mean, spending time with my family, spending time with my kid, and started doing work, and so the song that I was listening to, it came on last night, and it kind of this is the realization that I came to is, okay, so I woke up kind of on the wrong side of the bed, you know.
Right.
Ransom kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed and he's kind of in a fussy phase, so we hung out and you know, get out and get moving around and go play in the grass and stuff like that. And we started, you know, we're enjoying each other. We're having a good time. He's chilling out. We're laughing. We're having a good time. And I noticed that I'm like tearing up a lot. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm feeling real fragile is a good way to put it. And then, there was a song that I heard last night. I happened to be listening to just a Bay City Rollers Spotify station. And
wow.
You know, and so I'm listening to a lot of 70s bubblegum pop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Bay City Rollers and God, what else came up is fuck. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. I'll have to look it up after this. But then you know, just a lot of, the Osmonds doing Crazy Horses and shit like that. Like, just like a lot of really fun, like, bubblegum pop type of stuff. And a lot of UK stuff. And there was this song called The Free Electric Band. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
You've never heard The Free Electric Band? Hold on, let me look
I
up the name of the
don't, not to my knowledge, but I'm always not so good with titles.
Okay. So the guy's name is Albert Hammond, and he has this song called "The Free Electric Band," and I heard it at work when I was closing down, and it's just this really fun, just fist pumping anthem type of song. And I remember really liking it. I picked up on a few of the lyrics, and it's you know, I gathered that it's the story of this guy who's like, family had all sorts of plans for him, and he never really cared for school and stuff, and he threw it all away to play in the Free Electric Band. And it's just this story of this young man who just says, hey, you know, I'm not going to do the things that you want me to do. I'm going to do this because it means more to me. And so I get through, you know, I play Mr. Bojangles and do the recording of that and release that, and went through the frustrations of doing that and getting annoyed with my neighbor because he's talking on the phone loudly outside on his own porch while I'm trying to record on my porch and trying to get it done before the baby wakes up, and like trying to give an earnest and sincere performance while also being fucking annoyed at being on the 15th take or whatever because I miss a chord or I play something wrong. I totally thought of you, by the way, when I was like on those later takes, because I know that you're a perfectionist and you get into those later takes and they just drive you nuts. So I'm in that stage, and I sit down and I've got a little extra time because the baby's still asleep, and I finally get a good pass at Mr. Bojangles, and I put it up, and I'm happy with it. Like, I'm satisfied with the take. And so I'm like, and I just got my guitar back from the Old Town Pickin' Parlor. Shout out to the Old Town Pickin' Parlor in Aurora. Thank you so much for taking such good care of my guitar.
Yeah, it sounds really nice, man.
Dude,
it's a nice sounding guitar.
Dude, they're fixing up my brother's guitar right now too, and they straight up told me that it was going to cost more to repair it than it was worth, and I was like, yeah, but
Sometimes
it has a lot of
case.
sentimental value, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so then I'm like, well, I've got some free time. I'm going to sit down and learn this song. So I look up a YouTube tutorial, and it's a super simple song, 3 chords, really easy, and I'm playing through it, and I don't know what is happening, but I cannot listen to it or sing it without falling apart. I just can't do it. Like, I'm just like crying the whole time that I'm doing it, and I realize that the Alaska thoughts are a response to those feelings of fragility, and they're a response to they're a mechanism that my brain creates. Your brain is there's that video that we watched, your brain is an excellent servant but a terrible master.
Right.
And so it's like your brain is just trying to help you out by
it's a defense mechanism.
Well, giving you options to escape from suffering.
Yeah.
It's like
which you always have, right? You always have those options.
Right. And it's like so you get this feeling of of wanting to quit everything, and it's your brain's way, it's your mean old brain's way of just going like, hey, if this is causing you so much suffering, this is what you can do. And I realized as I was playing this song, because of the lyrics, like, I was suffering, and any time that I am suffering, it's because I miss playing, or I miss my bandmates, or I'm upset that something that means the world to me doesn't mean the world to the world at large, and even sometimes the people that I make music with.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love those
I'm
guys.
right there with you, buddy.
Dude,
there with you.
And nothing against my bandmates. I love them to death, and they always rock hard on stage, and they're the best guys you could possibly be in a band with, But
those are your feelings. That's what happens.
Yeah, those are my feelings. Yeah, and it's like what we call the Alaska thoughts is just my brain trying to do what it can to bail me out of this intense suffering. And the reason this song brought it up so much is the song is this story about a guy who just loves playing in a rock and roll band so much that he forsakes every other opportunity that is thrown his way in life. It's like, my mom and dad, they had all these plans for me, and all the teachers had all these plans, and this girl that I met in college when they forced me to go to college, she was great and everything, but, I got the impression that who she was pretending to be in a kind of college environment wasn't exactly who she really was, and she really had these traditional old values and just wanted suburbia and all these different things, and I gave her up for the Free Electric Band. And I love being a dad, and I love being in a relationship, and I love being at home, and I love having ties and relationships and attachments, and I would never want to be the type of guy who tours full time. That being said, there is that adventurer's spirit in all of us, I think, that is the part that got hooked into it initially, which is the young man who wants to just play on the stage for 500,000 people and have the time of their life just playing rock and roll with their friends. Like that is like what got all of us into it.
Sure.
And when you're having those days where you don't suspect, you know that is not a possibility.
Right.
Or not a
Right.
probability anyway. When you have those days, it is like so heartbreaking to that little kid inside of you. You know, that young man who got into it in the first place, that your poor dumb brain just thinks that you're going to die and is going to do anything that they can to pull you out of it.
Yeah, it's enough to make you a very sad and bitter person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, buddy, man. Like I can't. Yeah, there's really no way I can. I totally relate to that. Totally relate. And I mean, and that's the thing is though, the thing that's comforting to me though, and that has been oddly comforting during this crisis, is that I can kind of it's easier for me right now to funnel that energy into doing whatever I'm doing here because I have full license to do that now. I have no other option but to do that right now, honestly.
Right.
You know,
you don't seem like a crazy shut-in if you lock yourself up and start working on stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a big part of it. Is people are like, they're like, wow, now I can hole up in my spot and work on shit without people thinking I'm some sort of crazy person.
Well, because it's weird because even if you don't, if maybe you don't have a lot of obligations like in regular life, like maybe you don't have the kind of obligations that a touring band has, but you still feel that pressure to produce or to practice or to create something or to be in front of people and to you like not be forgotten or whatever it is. It's like you just want to be this whole relevance thing seems to matter just a lot more in that context. And then when you kind of pull back and you strip away all that stuff from it, all of a sudden you're just left with the creative part.
Right.
And you're like, wow, this is actually not bad.
Well,
I mean, there's terrible things about it. You can't express yourself in certain ways. You're locked in, for sure.
Right.
But you have the option to do things that you didn't have before.
Right.
And I try and focus on that every day because that's what keeps me going through it. It's
well,
just to try and
I'm finding that I'm focusing a lot more on the fun part of it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sitting there on my porch getting really frustrated, and it would be, like I said, I can't do, like, I actually brought some stuff here so that after we get off the podcast, I can do a couple loud songs that I can't do on my porch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like trying to allocate resources so that I can do this shit. Like, I've been talking about buying Ethan's laptop that we do the show on. I've been talking about buying that from him for months now. And then finally, I just got sick of not being able to do things the way I want to do them. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'll just send you the money for the laptop right now. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
And I just sent it to him because I have to have it. I have to have that, like, opportunity to work on shit.
Yeah,
like,
you have to have your setup. It's really important to have your setup.
Like, even on the days that, like, I'm thinking about, I have days where I am legitimately ready to just pull the plug on everything, and I'm like rehearsing the speech I'm going to give to my bandmates. You know what I mean? I'm like rehearsing the like sappy departure letter I want to like send out into the world, or the press release, or like, on in the really
But-
self-indulgent days, it's like imagining like some documentarian showing up at your house when you're like 60 years old, just like, what made you quit music? It's just like I just wanted to do something different for a while.
I don't know. It
that's
had
all.
something to do with the hopelessness of it all. The utter despair that I felt every
Yeah,
single day.
My feelings, that's why. I
But you
quit
know
because
what?
of my feelings.
But it is important to know though that you have that option of just cutting the cord and saying that's it.
You can.
You know, you can do that.
No one will
You
get
can
mad at you.
also, you can also, you can also say I'm not going to do this for a while. You know, you can always come back to it. You know, if
What's
you
the
feel like
longest
that's
you've ever quit for? Or
longest
stopped?
I've ever
There's a difference
quit.
between stopping and quitting. What's the longest you've ever stopped for?
The longest I've ever stopped for. That is a real fucking good question. I don't know that I ever have.
See, that's kind of my point.
And that's part of what keeps the momentum. It's just like an internal momentum that's just creating itself. It's like an inertia that's like the spiritual inertia that's within me that just keeps things rolling.
Right.
And that's it. And that's also like, that's also there's this whole ball of shit that you've been working on like most of your life that will keep you working on stuff.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I have this whole body of work. I have all this stuff. I have all this, time and energy and money that I've invested in this thing. And those things can, kind of overwhelm, the creative reasons for doing it sometimes.
Right.
But,
Right.
I've always been able to find the creative core of it though. Come back to the creative core. I think it's awesome that you're doing this thing where you're finding a different part of yourself as a performer and a player, and like I have no doubt that you're gonna start writing songs, and because you have stories to tell. You have a unique perspective, like
That's the thing that I have. Like that's the hard thing, that's what has been hard, and what has changed is I always felt like I have these stories to tell, I have these ideas, but I'm not a good enough guitar player, and I'm not a good enough songwriter.
Doesn't
you know
matter.
what I mean?
You that's the thing.
Well, that's what I'm
the
starting
cool
to
thing
find
about-
out.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about creativity is once you figure it out, once you have a few of the tools that are in that toolbox and they're starting to pile up a little bit, you're like, oh, this isn't so hard after all.
Right.
Like I can actually do this. And it took a long time for me to do that. It's almost like it took a lot of years of doing what I felt like was nothing to arrive at the point where I'm at now, where I'm constantly doing something.
Right.
That's I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Right. Well, I've been writing stuff. In fact, for a minute, I had a really good writing habit, and and I've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast, is I have this lifelong goal of writing 10,000 songs. Because the way I look at it is,
that's a hell of a goal, man.
Well, dude, if you wrote a song a day for 27 years, if you started from scratch and you wrote a song a day for 27 years, you could write 10,000 songs. And so my way of thinking about it is, it's like I'll just focus on doing my 50 pounds of clay. If we talked about the 50 pounds of clay,
yeah.
So I was just thinking ways I could do my 50 pounds of clay. And for a while, I had a really good songwriting habit. And, I'm starting to, obviously the last year threw me for a loop, and all of us for a loop eventually. And so I've been trying to like readjust my habits and whatnot. But doing these videos has like, and putting myself out there and receiving encouragement back and seeing that this side of my musical self that I have mostly just kept at home, or like maybe strum out a few things at a party or something like that people actually like it. And so then that's been encouraging me to like, okay, well, maybe I'll pick stuff up and start fleshing out these songs a little bit more, start developing them, or, maybe I'll start doing some collabs with some people because they've got free time on their hands and everyone's learning the technology anyway. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
And that wasn't there before. And it was like I think about it like my son weren't learning to walk. You know what I mean? Like he was in that stage of like those first kind of tenuous steps where he's like holding on to stuff and like moving around and doing like one big step and reaching out. And then sooner or later he starts to develop a little courage and a little momentum, and he gets on his little walker thing and he's pushing himself around. He's still, fumbling around when he does it. He's still not totally straight, and he still gets scared and stops, and he still falls down and cries, but then he gets a little better and a little better and a little better. And I'm like watching him do that stuff. Yeah. And I'm as I'm talking to you, noticing the parallels there.
Yeah.
It's like I'm starting to get confident enough to like, hey, maybe I can get better at playing guitar. Maybe I can get better at singing in this register. Maybe I can learn something about writing songs and take these things and develop them. And man, it's been really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, again,
it's a good thing to
do. Those mornings aren't going to go away. I just had an episode this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just this morning.
Yeah, but that's going to happen a lot, we know it's going to happen a lot.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and you're talking about, like, we're talking about the, like, last time that we actually stopped. And I don't even think I've even ever fully stopped for the entire duration of a vacation.
Right. Yeah, because it's something that you're always thinking about. You're always trying to think about how to improve something that you're working on. If you're doing anything creative, you're just the wheels are always turning, And then they occasionally reverse, and you're just like in a world of despair, But then it's seriously though, but then they always start spinning the other way again,
Right.
And sometimes it's like my wife is historically been very, very good at just kind of showing me the reality of a situation and being like, look, like you've been doing this for this long and you're going to quit for this dumb reason. Like, come on. Like,
right. It's not a very good reason.
Yeah. It's not a very good reason. Like when you've put so much of yourself into this thing, like, why would you stop for this thing or for this person or because this person said that, or you didn't get that, interview, or you didn't get that feature, or your career is not going the way you want it to, or whatever. It's like this is a journey. It's a total fucking journey.
How lame would it be if it all like you got everything you wanted in a weekend?
It would be astounding.
Yeah, but it would be.
I mean, like I don't know that I've ever actually thought about. I'm not the kind of person that sits around and thinks about things in terms of that. Like I don't have these huge aspirational things. They're more kind of like, I don't know. I have this set of achievable goals, and when I can't get those to work, that's when I get really frustrated.
Right.
The things that are more realistic, in my mind at least. Who knows?
Right.
Maybe.
No, and those things are frustrating. Those things are super frustrating. Or being like I have no interest in meeting anyone from Motley Crue.
Really? Why
interest.
not?
Really?
You should really think about what you're doing. I think you should quit.
No. Okay, so like, here's my point.
If you're not interested in meeting anybody from Motley Crue, quit. Everybody.
Like, I don't want to be respected by Gene Simmons.
God.
I don't want to be respected by Motley Crue. I don't want to be contemporaries with Axl Rose. Slash would be cool, but even him, I mean, he's a rock star. Like, I have no real interest in like going to Robert Plant's birthday party. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a ton of interest in that. But I do have interest in being.
That'd be fun, though.
I do have interest in being noticed and acknowledged and recognized by closer avatars.
Yeah, by your peers.
Well, and by my peers and by people at a slightly higher level. Like we had Blaine Cartwright from Nashville Pussy on here. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But I remember before I got to know Blaine, it was like it sucked not being recognized. Or like someone like I really admire Herbie Abernathy from Valiant himself, right? And it's like we've played with him, and it would be really great to be like, have him in the wings checking out the set and then wanting to hang out and shoot the shit afterwards. You know what I mean? And that type of stuff hurts when it doesn't happen. Like when you're not, when you talk about like achievable goals, it's like you want to be recognized by the people that you respect.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, it hurts. Or when it happens to people that like I have friends, contemporaries. We have friends and contemporaries. Some of them we've had on the show who have achieved what we would consider to be massive amounts of success.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Oh, yeah.
But then I talk to them on this show, someone like, and I'm sure he's going to hear this. So shout out to my man, Reed. Talked to Reed on the phone yesterday.
Reed.
I was picking his brain about, I got a ShipStation account so that I can work on this merch stuff, and I was kind of picking his brain because if there's one thing he is for sure, it's an expert in mail order,
Yeah.
And making mail order cool and being able to sell stuff.
I'd like to figure that out.
Yeah, dude, I mean, I think what makes Reed good at that is he just knows. He has a passion for music, and the music that he has a passion for, he knows a lot about it, and he knows what's cool about it, and he knows who else is going to think it's cool. Like he knows how to get.
Like you were talking about on the show with him, like he just has kind of this internal sense of marketing that works really well.
Right.
Like he just knows how to put the stuff in front of people and make it look desirable.
Right.
And it's not an easy thing to do, man.
Well, it's like I've watched, we've had David Sanchez on the show. We've had Reed on the show. We've had Ben Hutcherson on the show. We've had Blaine and Karen on the show. And Dan Aid is coming on the show soon, and Grant Netzorg, and various friends of ours who have experienced levels of success which are enviable levels of success for someone in our position.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you talk about, accomplishable goals, like achievable goals that we have, it's almost more frustrating when the goals are achievable. Because if your goal is to hang out with Motley Crue and go on tour with Motley Crue, like, you're going to have a long journey, a long asymptotic journey of getting to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you probably never will. But you'll have a long journey of deluding yourself to getting there. When you set achievable goals and your heroes are more of the second tier variety, it's more like the asymptote, like the curved line that is like approaching the straight line. Like if you are
Yeah.
like going for being on tour with Motley Crue, it's like you're never going to hit the line above it. You know what I mean? Whereas
Right.
if you are doing what we do and trying for more success in like a second tier type of realm, it's more
Yeah.
like bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam. No, come on, you're gonna let me break through
Or,
here?
yeah, or you're just kind of like, you're just kind of barely getting just right up there. You're just like, what? Why can't I just break through there? What's the problem?
It's
Yeah.
like like being a moth trying to get out of a house and just banging against the window.
That's a really good analogy. That's exactly what it is, because that's what you're doing. There's a lot of it that is just banging your head against a window, trying to get to the light.
Whap, 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 whap.
But that goes for a lot of things. That goes for a lot of aspirations that have
Right.
nothing to do with what we're talking about. That goes for a lot of things, like
Being a writer,
yeah,
being a parent,
yeah,
being a trying to get somewhere in the business world, or trying to start a business. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Trying to keep a business open. Speaking
can
of
you
which,
imagine starting a bar that nobody wants to go to?
I can't imagine it.
Can you imagine how
I can't
hard
imagine
that
that.
is?
I can't imagine that I would start a bar that anybody would want to go to.
Or I mean, like, not even a bar that nobody wants to go to, but a bar that is in like an undeveloped market. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I worked for the Overland, all right? And it had all the ingredients to be a success. They had contacts in the local media. It was owners of High Dive who have had a ton of success. One of the partners was fucking Nathaniel Rateliff. Like Nate would come and hang out in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they would get write-ups in 303 magazine and shit like that. Like they were getting something written about them all the time. And yet, because that neighborhood, the Overland neighborhood,
Gonna say location.
it just hadn't quite gotten there yet. And because of that, we couldn't keep liquor on the shelves. We couldn't keep food in the fridge. We couldn't cash paychecks. Just because, and that was a cool fucking bar. It should have been a slam dunk. Or like someone I love, shout out to him if he watches the show. Someone I love and respect a great deal is Jimmy Nigg, who owns the Monkey Barrel.
Monkey Barrel, yeah.
Dude, Jimmy is a great guy who is super enthusiastic and loves having his bar and has a ton of great ideas and has an imagination and just an enthusiasm about him that is very contagious, and he really gives a shit about his employees. And I watched him try and open a bar in one neighborhood that struggled really hard because I think the people there, the market in the area, it wasn't a neighborhood bar type of neighborhood, and then the city came in and sold up all the property and shut down all the businesses over there. He had to move to another developing market. And so it's this like, you've played the Monkey Barrel. It's an awesome bar.
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
And he has had to work his ass off to make that place what it is. And I just, like, knowing what I know about just having trouble being in a band and screwing around with my friends, I can't imagine having all your savings and, like, your, like, everything riding on making a business work that has the deck stacked against it.
Right.
Now, fortunately for Jimmy,
and you want
I think
it to be that destination place where people want to go, and and not be able to have that work out.
Like if you run a bar on South Broadway, like in the Baker District, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to be successful.
There's a hell of a built-in demographic there.
You can open a shitty business. If you've got the money to open a business on the 16th Street Mall, you can open a shitty business on the 16th Street Mall, and just because that's where tourists end up, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Hard Rock Cafe. Anyway,
I had the place on the tip of my tongue, but you just took care of it for me. That's great.
Good cheeseburgers. Good cheeseburgers. Good memorabilia. Hey, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, shall we?
Yes. Please
first
do.
and foremost, Matula Plumbing.
Matula!
Shit rolls downhill. Don't be at the bottom. Your number 2 is our number 1 priority. Your shit is our bread and butter. Angie's List Super Service Award winner back in 2011. 1-1 is the only one that matters. After that, it got all political. He'll wear the booties for you. The master of poopers himself, Jerry Matula. That dude should be paying me to read copy for him. Shout out to Jerry.
Really
Love you, man.
Literally be paying you. It should be.
He does pay me, actually. Because he backs us on Patreon. Yeah.
Well, there it is. That's beautiful.
He backs us on Patreon. Hey, by the way, if you have a business and you want us to read copy or give shout-outs to your band on our podcast and stuff, like, Patreon is open to advertisers. Like, straight up, if you come on there as a patron, we'll advertise you. Yeah, man. We'll do that. We'll negotiate it. Get in touch with me. We'll figure it out. Mutiny Information Cafe. Yeah, right? Mutiny Information Cafe, 2 South Broadway. Mutiny is everything. Music, books, coffee, records, live events, podcasts, video games, cereal. And from what I understand, they're hanging in there.
Yes.
You know, they're hanging in there. I have heard no murmurings that their doors are closing anytime soon. So they're getting through this. Go get a cup of coffee through their little side access window while you can, and order some stuff online.
Now I have a question about that really quick. Do you know? Because I haven't looked at this, and I was thinking about this the other day, or actually just earlier today, because I saw a couple posts from Jim, and I was like, do they have their like book and record stock online? Is that something that they have up? Like, can you actually just like go and order a book and a record and get a coffee at the window and just get it at the window? I don't know about that. That would be super cool.
That would be super cool. Hey, I'll bet if you go to mutinyinfocafe.com, you can find that out.
You can find that out and so much more.
And please let us know if anybody knows what some of the things that Mutiny is offering during the pandemic. Please let us know, because we'd like to know, and we'd like to talk about it. Yeah, we love Mutiny, man. Mutiny is the shit. They are everything. Hit them up.
Yes.
Flipside Music. Largest selection of effects pedals in the region. Hosts of What the FAQ on the Flipside Music YouTube channel. They have a ton of great information, ton of great resources, and they know gear, man. They know their stuff. We've had Ike on the show. Yeah, dude, your guitar just came out of nothing. Hold on a second.
I got this disappearing guitar from Flipside. I just want to advertise that. Like, nobody else has.
Oh my God!
Nobody else has the disappearing guitar. No one else. Okay. That's
you got
for you,
a goddamn cloaking device.
That's hilarious.
Burn TV Studios, home of the motherfucking podcast and Hemp in History and Hemp 101 and the doc with Redman, and of course the Nug Nation, our flagship piece of content. Burn TV, man, we are staying busy. Expect some good things out of us in the coming year and years. Thank you so much to Burn TV Studios for letting us use this. Go to thenugnation.com to check out episodes of the Nug Nation. And have you, by the way, Gordo, have you seen the Redman series we've been doing yet?
No, I have not seen it yet. I've been trying to catch up with, like everything that's online now,
Right. Right.
It's hard. Like between
watching.
Riff Book and live streams and all this other stuff, it's like how am I going to do it?
Right, I know. There's so much. I've got so much stuff queued up, but yeah, the thing we've been doing with Redman is fucking hilarious, man. Like that dude, just like you just put a quarter in him and turn him on, man. He's fucking dude. We gave him just like a few ideas to work with, and he's like, all right, yeah, that's perfect. And then he just went home and just like ad-libbed this fucking hilarious script. It's really great. Burn TV, man.
Right on.
Stay tuned. Rocket Space Rehearsal Studios. I actually have been keeping an eye on Kate, and Kate is keeping busy. They just upgraded their branding kit, so they got a bunch of new logos. And
I've
a bunch
seen,
of new cool
yeah,
stuff.
I've seen the logos. They look really, really fresh.
Yeah, I mean, Kate's got no signs of slowing down. Kate's a boss lady. We're excited to see what goes on with Rocket Space.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Evergroove Studio, of course, the official recording studio of Motherfucking Ruckus and a bunch of other great bands. 70% solar powered, and Brad works remotely. Like even when he's not in the studio, he takes an interface and some in-ear monitors and like a little mixing board thing plug-in. I don't know what he takes with him specifically, but he's like mixing our record on the road right now while he travels back and forth dealing with family stuff. Like the guy, he's a G, man. He takes really, really good care of his people. And Ethan Klein comes to us from Evergroove Studios, our tech guru.
Do I show up? Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
You're pointing
he's
the right
over
way.
There. He's over there.
Yeah, see, there
he's
you
right
go.
over. He's right over there.
Dude, but our fingers are pointing the opposite way. It's weird. He's over there. He's over there. Evergroove. We love you guys.
Ethan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And, of course, the badass motherfuckers who back us via a small monthly contribution on patreon.com/mfruckus. I've been just dumping content on the patrons. I've been
you've got good stuff going on. You've got these like hidden. You've got these hidden histories of your own involvement in the music scene. It's immense. It has to be immense. I don't know where you keep these in a some kind of vault in a mountain.
So I had the idea. To start the Seeds and Stems page on SoundCloud. Because I'm like, I've got all this stuff, and I don't have anywhere to put it. But it's like I can't bring myself to delete it off my phone, and it's like demo recordings or stuff like rehearsals with Gentleman Deluxe, our project that we should really do something together again.
Those sound pretty good, man.
Dude, for like little rehearsal demos, it's like they don't sound bad.
Sound pretty good, man.
I dig it. I needed a spot for the shitty stuff. I needed a spot for the brown fruit.
The brown fruit.
You know, like you don't throw away your brown bananas. You make them into banana bread. And I love banana bread.
You freeze them and you turn them into banana ice cream. That's what we do.
So the banana the Seeds and Stems page is like that's our banana ice cream and our banana bread. But you know, so I started working on that, and I'm like I needed an easy way to upload stuff and then share it with the patrons. And so I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll pay for the SoundCloud account. And I've been unloading on the patrons with stuff they didn't even know they wanted. So if you want to get a hold of stuff that you didn't know you wanted before anyone else gets it, and just be talked up so much on a weekly podcast.
Dude, I love the pitch on that. The stuff that you didn't know that you wanted sent directly to you before anyone else gets it. That what more can you ask for?
Right. Patreon.com/mfruckus. Check it out. Oh, fuck, man. Well, dude, it's I'm really glad we got to get together and shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was a hoot, man. It was good.
Yeah.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
Are you guys doing okay? Everybody healthy and everything?
Yeah, we're just, we're riding it out, We're both lucky enough to be able to work from home, so we're doing that. I mean, you do have those moments of just stir crazy, just like, whoa, fuck, man.
Are
Like
you doing masks in
I
public? Are you doing that?
yeah. Whenever possible, we have like we've made like my wife has made several masks. But sometimes the problem is we can't wash them fast enough for our outings, like we have to cycle them through so we can wash them and get them
Right.
ready for the next
You can wash them with dish soap
yeah.
just in the sink, and you can just put them out in the sun. I have to wear a mask every day for work, and I'm sure you've experienced this. Wearing a mask with a fucking beard is awful.
Oh, it's terrible, dude.
I've been telling
It
people
is
it's
terrible.
like wearing a Irish sweater from the 19th century on your face. It's
That's
like it's
that's
like
good.
wearing those ascetics in the Middle Ages that like wore hair shirts
Hair
to.
shirts,
It's
exactly.
like wearing a hair shirt on your face.
Well, it's like you don't go around. I don't ever do you feel your beard on your face? Not really. No, I don't. But then when I put that on, I fucking feel my
Oh
hair
yeah.
on my face in the worst way possible. In fact, I have considered shaving this shit off.
I've
Like,
considered it too, but I don't want to let the virus win.
I know. Like, I would rather keep my goddamn beard. Thank you very much.
I also kind of feel like the beard is like all I've got left.
Well,
Like
it definitely is for me.
now that I've shaved my head and like I'm just like surrendering. I'm just
Well, hey,
surrendering.
thankfully you still have your eyebrows. You were thinking about getting rid of those for a second, right?
No. Well, if people
And then your
listen,
wife was like, "Whoa, time out, buddy."
well, but if people had given me like $3,800 for kids' cancer, I would have shaved off anything, man. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. If I had hit that number, I would have done anything for that.
Well, of course, yeah. You're morally obligated.
Right.
Relieve yourself of that hair.
By the way, speaking of hair, when you turn your head the right way, the green shows through your
I know.
headphones, and
I
it
know.
kind of looks like you've got a green foam afro.
Yeah, man. It's
Like-
crazy if the light reflects off my bald ass head enough, you can actually see through it. It's really fucking cool. It happened the other night. I actually made it work for my live stream the other night. I made it do that. I set it so like the chroma key was actually making it go through my hands so they were see-through, and it was pretty fucking psychedelic and cool.
That's really cool.
I like it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I actually, I don't know if you saw Logan, our bass player, my best bud Logan. He was posting something today about masks, or a couple days ago, something about masks and how kind of gross it is, how popular they got all of a sudden, which I agree. At the same
That's
time, I'm
Times
glad
we living in.
I'm glad they became fashionable, because the fact that they're fashionable means that people will wear them. And that being said, I've got 2 awesome masks on the way in the mail.
Oh, I saw you post something about that.
Dude,
Yeah.
So I've got a Motorhead did this package, or whoever's running Motorhead's, intellectual property, whatever label owns their stuff. So there was some package deal that was like, it was like a Motorhead shirt and mask combo. So Sarah went and ordered us some of those. So it's like the like Motorhead logo right down here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What do you call that? What's that monster called?
Oh, it's slipping my mind right now.
It has a name.
Yeah, I know. It's
I can't remember
escaping
what it's
me.
called. But yeah, so we got one of those, and then Ween made them too. And it's like the Boognish on the front, and then it has a lyric from Spinal Meningitis Got Me Down, and it just says, "Please don't let me die" on it. I saw that. I was like, I have to have it. They sold out of them the first day. and
I
had
was
to
gonna
do, like,
say
another round.
that's gotta be a hot item. I knew when I started seeing ads in my feed for like masks that matched your underwear. Like I was like, yeah, like we've definitely achieved peak mask, couture. Like at this moment, like
Couture. Good use of a
that's where we're
word.
going. That's where we're at, man. It's like
Yeah.
it is a part of the fashion world now. It
Totally
is
it
right
is.
there.
It
Hey, why
is.
not?
We've been
It-
seeing a lot of people who just aren't wearing them when they come into the restaurant. And I get it. It's a little fuzzy. Like we haven't gotten the most clear guidance, so I'm definitely not mask shaming anyone. Like there are people I know who do and who are like, I can't believe these people are out without a mask and blah blah blah. And like when I go for a walk around the cemetery with my little boy, we don't wear a mask when we're doing that because we're a certain distance from people. You know what I
you're
mean?
way out. You're way out, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're out and we're on a path and we do pass by people and stuff like that. So I don't wear a mask there, but like I've been seeing people who don't wear the masks when they come in, and we're wearing them for them. And I don't think, and then on the same token, you see the people who are coming in and they'll like come in the door and then they'll pull their shirt over their face. And they're kind of like standing by the door, like just all sketchy about it and whatnot. Like they'll pull their shirt over their face when they're walking, or they'll put their sleeve over their face or whatnot. And I don't think that people really understand the way the mask is supposed to work, which is I wear my mask for you and you wear your mask for me.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
like we've got this thing. I wanted to make a video of it. We've got this bubble maker for the kid, and it's like it's a little whale, and you fill the whale's mouth up with the bubble juice, and then it's got like rotating little bubble wheels, you know what I mean? And then air that blows through it. And if you look at it in the light, you can just see the spatter from the bubbles. Like bubbles are going flying everywhere, and then but not everyone lands a bubble. So the bubbles in between, it's just like spattering soapy discharge all over the place.
Right.
And like our porch is just covered in soapy discharge because of this, right?
Yeah.
And it's like for the people who are like talking about like,
Yeah.
this is all about compliance and it's bullshit and it doesn't even work and blah, blah, blah. And then there is zero efficacy with cloth masks. It's like, I just want to make a video of like a before and after of the bubble machine without a mask and with a mask, and just show that it does prevent you from spraying your fucking spit into the air. Like when people say droplets means spit from your throat, from your mouth. They're shooting out into the air, and it's like you just cover it up like you would when you're coughing or sneezing. You know?
Those particles do stay in the air for hours.
Right. So you're covering your face so that you don't cover other people with it. I think that some people think that you are wearing a mask to protect yourself from other people's stuff.
It really is about like, you do this for me, I do this for you.
Right.
We're doing this for each other.
Yeah.
You know? Like I went into a liquor store the other day. What's weird to me is the people that use the mask as an excuse to just get closer to you, which is bizarre to me. Like what kind of logic are you following here? Because
they're like we're cool now, we're wearing masks.
There are people that were squeezing past me in the I'm like, you think that's fucking cool? Whatever. You know, like
I told you about the guy who barked at me in 7-Eleven, right?
No, what
did I not tell you about that? Oh, this was pretty early on. It was a few weeks ago, but this guy is wearing flip-flops, shorts, tank top, has a scarf wrapped around his face, like a winter scarf wrapped around his face, and he's purchasing 2 tall boys of Natty Light. And we're in a 7-Eleven, which is not only the name of the business, it is also the dimensions of the building. is like 7 by 11 feet. You know, it is a small fucking building. 7-Elevens are small, man. Unless it's like one of those like superstore ones. It's like an Aurora 7-Eleven. It's small.
It's a vestibule.
Yeah. And they have it marked off, but you can't get around there without walking at least within 6 feet of people.
Right.
And I'm in there getting my stuff, and I walk past the guy to get in line. And the guy gets up to the front counter, he turns around, and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, keep your distance." And I just kind of look at him and I go, "Okay." And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, you were in a 7-Eleven in flip-flops, shorts, tank top, with a scarf wrapped around your face, buying Tall Boys and Natty Light. You got bigger problems than coronavirus right now, my man.
This is painfully obvious.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to show you this song. I want to show you this song.
Yeah.
Okay, now keep in mind, I've heard it 2 times. Can you hear my guitar on your end?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Maybe Yeah. So this is a cheesy pop song from the 70s. You know what I mean? It's a rock song, but for all intents and purposes, it's just like a bubblegum pop song from the 70s. And I could not stop crying when I listened to it. And this one goes out to all of our friends and contemporaries who have sacrificed every opportunity to do this thing that we do and make music with your friends and like follow the dream, even though it is a silly dream and it's kind of a Quixote-esque endeavor. Like me and Gordo and the Ruckus dudes and the Granny dudes and Ethan and everybody from Evergroove and everybody from Rocket Space and Mutiny and Flipside and all the people that we talk to on this show, like, we're all here with you, man. We get it. And I don't know how I missed this song, but this should be the anthem of the rock and roller. So this is a song by a guy named Albert Hammond called The Great Electric Band. My father is a doctor, he's a family man. My mother works for charity whenever she can. They're both good, clean Americans who abide by the law. They both stick up for liberty and they both support the law. My happiness was paid for when they laid their money down for summers in a summer camp and winters on the town. My future in the system was talked about and planned, but I gave it up for music and the free electric band. I went to school in hand-washed shirts with neatly oiled hair, and the school was big and newly built and filled with light and air. And a teacher taught us values that we had to learn and keep. And they clipped the ear of many idle kid who went to sleep, till my father organized for me a college on the east. But I went to California in the sunshine and the beach. My parents and the lecturers could never understand why I gave it all for music in the free electric band. upon their son's career. A lawyer or a doctor or a civil engineer. Just give me bread and water, put a guitar in my hand. 'Cause all I need is music from the Free Electric Band. Well, my father sent me money and I spent it very fast on a girl I met in Berkeley in a social science class. Yes, we learned about her body, about her mind we did not know, until deep-rooted attitudes and morals began to show. She wanted to get married even though she never said, and I knew her well enough to now to see inside her head. She'd settle for suburbia and a little patch of land, so I gave her up for music and the Free Electric Band. Ooh, the Free Electric Band. Sa-da-la-da-ba-da-ba-ba, the Free Electric Band. Sa-da-la-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, the Free Electric Band. Well, I gave it up for music and the Free Electric Band.
Nice, dude.
That's a fun
That's
song.
a good jam. That's a good jam, dude.
It's a good one.
I like it.
That really hurt.
Yeah, you were pounding away on that thing, man.
Yeah. I recommend everyone go online and look up that song. It's a great one. I've only heard it a couple of times, so obviously I don't know how it goes entirely, but it's a beautiful idea, man. It's a beautiful idea of like, yeah, they've been trying to plan stuff for me, and people think that this is the direction that I should go, but this is the direction I'm going to go. I remember having that conversation, you know?
Yeah.
I remember telling my parents, just like, hey, I've decided to give this a go. And I remember them kind of going, okay.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of suspected, but I was like, I need to keep doing this. So I'm not going to
keep grinding.
Yeah. Well, Gordo, I'm really glad we got to hang out, man.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. It's fun.
We will have a guest next week. All things go well. And it's going to be Dan Aid, who is a fucking awesome character, man. He plays in Authority Zero. Before that, he was in The Wire Dogs. He was in White Leather. And I think Letters from the Front before that, but I might have the name of the band where I came to know him where he came on my radar first. I might have that wrong. I think it's Letters from the Front, but he's a guy who's been grinding out for a long time and is an incredibly interesting character and a hell of a musician. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him. Ethan Klein, our tech guru. We're not social distancing right now, but Ethan and I make out, so, you know. All right. Well, anything... Hey, thanks very much, everybody, for watching the stream. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Again, if you want to support us, please go to patreon.com/mfruckus or go to mfruckus.com/merch. Enter in the promo code COVID at checkout. It shouldn't matter, but try it all caps. If it doesn't go through the first time, do it all caps and it should work. Use the promo code COVID and get 15% off everything in the store. And we'll ship it out to you, man. Yeah, give it all up for music and the Free Electric Band. Thanks for listening to the motherfucking podcast. I'm Aaron Howell.
I'm Gordo.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. And where's the out?
Bye, bye.
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 Look at Aaron.